Gilchrist looked very funny. He looked at the butler, but the butler looked away. You don't need to answer, young man. Just tell me if I make a mistake, said Holmes. Yesterday afternoon, you returned to your room from the track. You were carrying your track shoes. On the way, you passed Professor Solmes's office window. You were so tall you could see the papers on the desk. You came inside and went into his office. You sat down and put your track shoes on the desk. Then you copied the test papers. You heard the professor at the door. You took your shoes and hid behind the curtain, but your shoes left mud and a scratch on the desk. Some of that mud fell on the floor. I found the same mud near the track. Am I right so far? Yes, said Gilchrist and looked down at the floor. Suspicious.
Who visited Sherlock Holmes?
Professor Soames visited Holmes.
And who was it?
He taught Greek at Cambridge University.
What problem does Professor Soames tell Sherlock?
He said, the problem is this, Mr. Holmes. Final exams are tomorrow and someone has copied the exam papers. Someone is trying to cheat. I must find out who it is. Can you help me?
Who does Holmes say?
He said, first tell me exactly what happened. He said, when did you notice the papers had been touched?
What did the professor notice when he got back?
When he got back, he noticed that the papers were on the floor.
How many keys does the professor have?
He has only 2 keys.
Who has the keys?
His butler has one, and he has the other.
What is Holmes especially interested in?
Holmes was especially interested in the carpet.
What did he find on the carpet?
He found some mud on the carpet as well as some pieces of pencil.
Which student visited the professor?
Mr. Das came by today to ask a question.
Why do the students pass by often?
Each student has a room on the floors above his office.
What are the 3 students' names in the professor's class?
Gilchrist, Das, and McLaren.
Why did Mr. McLaren almost get kicked out of school?
He nearly got kicked out of school his first year because of a gambling scandal.
What did the thief try to copy?
Thieves trying to copy the exam papers.
What did Holmes say the thief did when he heard the professor come in?
When he heard Professor come in, he hid behind the curtains. When Professor left to come to see Holmes, he escaped.
Why did Holmes keep some of the pieces from the pencil sharpening?
He broke each pencil and then sharpened it. He kept some of the pieces and tried to match them with the pieces found in Solmes's room.
Why did Mr. McLaren shout at them to go away?
He said he wanted peace and quiet.
Why did the professor say he was still worried?
Holmes had not yet solved the crime. The exam is tomorrow and the cheat has still not been caught.
Did he have enough time to make a new exam?
No, he doesn't have enough time to make up a new exam.
What did Holmes tell the professor?
He said, calm down and get some sleep.
What did Holmes show Watson?
Holmes showed his friends some mud.
What is special about the mud?
He matched the kind left in Solmes's office perfectly.
What does Holmes tell the professor?
He said, Professor, you can give the exam. I found the cheat. Please ask your butler to come in.
Who looked very worried?
Butler looked very worried.
Who did Holmes want to speak to?
He'd like to speak to the second floor student he met last night.
Okay, what is his name?
His name was Gilchrist.
What did he ask, Mr. Gilchrist?
He asked, Mr. Gilchrist, please tell us why you copied the Greek exam papers.
How did Gilchrist look?
Gilchrist looked very frightened.
What is Gilchrist carrying on the way to his room?
He was carrying his track shoes.
What did Gilchrist put on the desk?
He put his track shoes on the desk.
What did the shoes leave on the desk?
It left mud and a scratch on the desk.
What did the butler say was his part?
He said, I let the young man out. You see, I was Mr. Gilchrist's father's butler. When Gilchrist's father died, I promised to take care of his son.
What did Gilchrist hand to the professor?
He handed Professor an envelope.
What did he say in the letter?
He confessed his terrible mistake.
What does Holmes say to Watson?
He said, it's time for breakfast, Watson. Let's go.